What's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to add $20,000 a month in your B2B lead gen agency. Now, if you haven't ever had your first $20,000 a month, or you want to add an additional $20,000 a month, I'm going to show you exactly how I've used a proven outbound lead flow engine to book sales calls and close deals. Let's hop straight into it here on the screen. So in this Google Doc, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how to narrow your niche and offer. So essentially an entire offer revamp. I'm gonna show you to how exactly I have built a predictable lead flow engine that I've been able to install in multiple B2B lead gen agency owners' businesses to predictably book the meetings. I'm gonna show you exactly how to refine outreach so you can have high relevance messaging and how to install a feedback loop and an iteration rhythm so you can continuously learn from this outbound system, and so that you can predictably book in calls. My name is Thomason. I own a consulting business and an agency that helps software companies book in more demos. I have helped hundreds of B2B lead gen agency owners on school with my backend modules install this system. Obviously, you can book on a call, the first link right down below, if you want a guarantee of hitting $20,000 a month or adding $20,000 a month in your B2B lead gen agency. Let's hop straight into it. So first things first, we have to narrow our niche and offer, okay? Scaling doesn't happen with generic services. We have to utilize AI to position yourself as a more valuable business, and we have to pick a tight ICP, so customer profile, an offer, and a revenue generating outcome, okay? What a lot of B2B lead gen agencies do is they say, hey, we're gonna book you X amount of calls, or we're going to give you X amount of leads, but they miss the key component, which is cold hard cash in your client's pockets. At the end of the day, if you're not positioned as a premium solution, you are essentially a commodity, okay? So using the system, I literally, here's some proof. I went from transacting $1 in May of 2024, last year around this time, to then scaling to almost $7,500 in top line revenue, and then hitting $21,000 in under 90 days. So the system works, system is proven, and we use LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Find Email. So more on that in a second here, but essentially narrowing your niche and offer starts with scaling, okay? Picking an ICP, for me, I could always say I'm going after software companies, right? But inside of this entire industry, software development, there's a multitude of different software companies that are B2C and B2B and direct to consumer. And there's just a lot of fluff. And so I have to actually narrow it down. So I've narrowed it down to helping B2B custom dev software companies. Basically what this means, obviously that are doing $1 million a year plus in annual recurring revenue, this is as niche as I can get. I'm targeting software companies that build custom software solutions for businesses and sell to them. So basically a good example of this is literally any sort of custom software that is able to be built with code from a team. These software companies have teams that they hire out to build out code and build out software, and then they'll install them into their clients' businesses. And I'm approaching the software company, I'm saying, hey, look, you want to make more custom development software for businesses. I know you want to sell more of them. I know you want to have larger projects and you want to build more things, and you actually want to sell more of your development of software. I'm gonna show you exactly how using my LinkedIn outbound, system or whatever, or paid ads. So that's my system. And so narrowing your niche and your offer, if you're B2B lead gen agency owner, I highly suggest that no matter what niche you're in, solar, home improvement, car detailing, I've seen it all, okay? I've seen it all. I've helped out everything as well. The biggest thing you want to do is define where the person is at right now and where they want to be. I already know that when I build my predictable lead flow engine, I am very aware of the market. So I know exactly where that custom dev software company is right now and where they're looking to go, okay? Now, where they're looking to go might vary depending on revenue goals and company goals, but at the end of the day, what's the bottom line? The bottom line is these businesses want to scale faster, more efficiently, with more predictability. And so if you can, as a B2B lead gen agency owner, position yourself as the agency to actually do that, that closes the gap, that helps them scale faster, that helps them book more meetings, and you can show them just a little bit of proof with some case studies and testimonials, you are having the green light right there. So obviously, as soon as you get all of that sorted away, the biggest thing here is building a predictable lead flow engine, okay? So I have shown breakdowns in my last video about how exactly I specifically use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to prospect. There's a very specific way I do it. Obviously, I teach it in the inner circle. I show you guys a little bit here on this YouTube channel as well, some sneak peeks too. But I use certain filtering mechanisms inside of LinkedIn Sales Navigator to target the most qualified companies. And I'm typically getting a 5 to 10% positive response rate. And this is always what I hang around. So building a predictable lead flow engine is essentially 4x in your current inputs. Most agency owners don't have an outbound system. They have bursts of activity followed by a drought. So it's feast or famine. I call it F for F. Either way, you're fucked. There's one of my mentors told me that feast or famine, fucked or fucked. Either way, you're just fucked, okay? You need a consistent way to get in front of decision makers daily. Okay, my clients install an outbound system using LinkedIn, obviously, like I showed you guys here, to prospect, and it removes them from the day-to-day decision making and the day-to-day prospecting. Obviously, they're still doing higher level decision making, but they're not doing decision making on this micro level. Okay, segmenting and scaling using AI, so tools like Clay, Finding Mail, things like that, to personalize outreach from prospect to prospect, and LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Finding Mail to obviously source and to scrape those leads and export them into an Excel sheet, something like this. Okay. So that's essentially the gist of building a predictable lead flow engine. It comes down to having the right software stack. It comes down to having the right personalization stack. Obviously Clay.ai is a great tool to personalize data. So this is a here we go, Clay.com. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. I just think it's an amazing tool. So obviously they help out anybody in any niche that's selling any sort of product or service that helps analyze data. So learning Clay is super important. Obviously I have everything inside of my inner circle where I show you exactly how to use all of these softwares. You don't have to spend hours learning which prospect system works. You can literally take it from a guy that has scaled tons of clients. Right now, go to my Slack. Here's some of the wins. From a minute ago, I'm getting all my clients back into Slack now. We had them on school for a while, so we are now transitioning back to Slack. So obviously, first link right down below if you want to scale $20,000 a month in the next 90 days, guaranteed. So after we understand that our niche needs to be narrowed, we sort of have a little bit of an offer revamp. We've built our predictable lead flow engine. Now things are running. We have a well-oiled machine. We have a lead generation machine that is going to consistently send out outreach for us on behalf of us while we're not actually spending time in front of our computer manually doing outreach. And so now it comes back down to testing. This is the fun part. A lot of people dread this part. Refining the outreach message is possibly the most highest leverage activity you can do, as well as the most rewarding. Because what you say matters more than how often you say it. People are using recycled templates. Your message needs to speak to your customer profile's immediate pain. Focus on quality signals and cues that trigger relevance. And you want to keep it open-ended. Okay? Very low barrier of entry CTA. A lot of people say, hey, comment the word, word, or comment call so we can get on a call. A lot of people jump the gun, without providing a lot of value up front. All these business owners, all these companies, all of these B2B businesses and whoever you're trying to pitch to, whether it's a detailer or a home improvement person, at the end of the day, they're being pitched to and they just want some value. Okay. And if you can show them that, hey, look, you can trust me a little bit. I can give you some value here. I'm not just trying to sell you, build some rapport in that respect. You'll be able to close the deal a lot faster and there'll be much more credibility on your side. So refining outreach, obviously I always end my CTA with, should I send over some more info? And right now I'll show you guys a quick example of an outreach message that we sent out. This is on a brand new LinkedIn Sales Navigator account. So let me see right here. Obviously I reached out to this guy. It's a quick question. Rohan told me to reach out to you. This is one of his team members. Obviously this is personalized using Clay. Obviously, I didn't personally speak to Rohan. I talked to him before, but I didn't personally have to type that. This was all automated by Clay. So I'm reaching two decision makers in the same company. And so it's double touch points. And these people do talk to each other. So there's a higher likelihood to actually close the deal and get on the call faster. So I said I pretty much specialize in helping technical custom software teams go from project to project to consistent high ticket sales. So pain point right here, project to project, that's feast and famine, to consistent high ticket sales, which means bigger deals, larger enterprise level clients, larger contracts. And I said it starts with 15 to 30 qualified demos per month, meaning I do that for you. I said we guarantee results or we refund your full investment. Should I send over some more info? And so right here, so sure you can, not sure what it'll go to, but I'll look, thanks for the connection, okay? So I gotta send them over some info, obviously, in a bit. That's up to me. But there's a very personalized way that I go about doing outreach, and it's automated at scale. And so right now, with everything in the softwares being sent out, 50 to 100 messages per LinkedIn account every single day, I'm able to actually book in a decent amount of calls per week. Anywhere from sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 20 calls a week. I don't care too much about the quality or the quantity. I care more about the quality. And the last section here is installing a feedback loop with iteration. Winning campaigns are not built overnight. You need to adjust them weekly based on data, reply rates, positive responses, booked calls, campaign fatigue. This is exactly how we optimize the scale appointments, okay? So I built a 6-figure B2B lead gen agency by literally just running paid advertisements and sending cold outreach on behalf of software companies. This is exactly what I have done to consistently book my business, if I can find the screenshot here, 40 to 60 qualified booked calls every single month at a 40 to 50% close rate. That close rate is only that high because, one, I have a YouTube channel that pretty much built a lot of trust, and two, I do a very good job implementing strategies that send out my content to prospects in between the sales window and throughout the sales cycle, which then shortens the sales cycle, gets them more familiar with who I am, understands me as a person, and they actually see me more as a human rather than just another transaction. I don't like transaction selling. And if you're into the lead gen space as an agency owner, you probably understand that a lot of these transactions are just transactional selling. You don't really build a good relationship with a business. You don't really have good ties. It's just kind of like, you shut up, go to the side of your room and work on your laptop and bring me leads. I don't really care about knowing you. And that's not how I run my business. So obviously, like I said multiple times in the previous couple of minutes here, if you're a B2B lead gen agency owner, we have helped tons of other B2B lead gen agency owners that are around that $5,000 to $10,000 a month mark actually scale to $20K a month in the most predictable manner using the specialized LinkedIn Sales Navigator outbound system in 90 days or less, absolutely guaranteed. If you're looking for some help with some client acquisition and you're looking to get on a quick little roadmap call where I point out your exact blind spots and show you what you need to do to get to your next level, it's gonna be that first link right down below. It's a calendar link. You can schedule in tomorrow, next day, and the day after that. So with that being said, I look forward to speaking with you guys over the phone, meeting up with some of you guys who watch videos on this channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Let me know if this video was helpful. Drop it down in the comments down below. Peace.